everyone. So we're in third week of November, which means we're all set to enter the holiday season and really look our best. This brings in the New Year festivities and the holiday season around the corner. And I find everybody talking about a flat stomach as to how should they get flat stomach for that little black dress or whatever they want to wear. So today I'm going to be talking about foods that will help you to get a flat stomach. But before that, I want you to know what causes a stomach which generally protrudes out and how can you stop that, and what is it that you should not be eating. So number one, what I want to talk about is to have a flat stomach, it's very, very important that you have good digestive health. Now, a good digestive health would mean that you do not have constipation, that you do not have bloating, that you do not feel heavy post meals. So very, very important to take care of your digestive health. When you do that, the fat storage, the fat accumulation around the abdominal area would come down on its own. But that essentially means that you're able to digest and assimilate food the right manner, and the fat accumulation is not happening. Number two, what I want to talk about are the things that you should not be eating, because while it is important to eat the right kind of food to have a flat stomach, it is more important to not have wrong kind of foods to avoid the belly fat. So number one, so there are only two kind of foods that you should typically be avoiding. Number one is refined sugar. So you need to focus on your sugar in your tea and coffee, because if you really look at it, most of the houses, the desserts, the mithais and the cakes and pastries do not really happen on daily basis. However, the tea and coffee at least twice a day. So if you're conscious of the fact that not to put sugar in your tea or coffee, you can cut down your refined sugar or sugar in any form to a large extent. Along with that, make sure that you're not indulging in desserts on a regular basis. Number two on the list of things that you should not be having is refined food, the packaged, processed and junk food. So for example, a pack of chips will have 5 times more sugar than a cup of tea. So make sure that you avoid things like chips, things like colas, things like these ready to eat cereals. Now these are absolutely sugar rich, irrespective of whatever the pack says, whether it says healthy or no trans fat. Please understand that it is sugar laden at the end of the day. It's either high sugar or high fat, so you need to steer away from that. Now with that, let's talk about things that you should really be focusing on. Number one on my list is yogurt. It is a very, very good food. I actually call it nectar. So sometimes when people consume milk, they feel nausea, they feel heavy, they feel bloated. However, when they consume curd, they do not have any of such symptoms. So home set curd, and you can flavor it with the spices of your choice. So you can add things like zira powder, salt or black salt or chaat masala, a little bit of hing, or you can convert this thing into a yummy delicious raita. It could be a kheere ka raita, it could be a lauki ka raita, it could be a beetroot raita. Now with that, it becomes a fantastic combination of prebiotic and probiotic. So one, it gives you that prebiotic and probiotic, and two, because it is high on protein, it keeps you full for a longer time and avoids all the kind of hunger pangs that you may experience. It is also a rich source of calcium, so it's overall the best thing that should be part of your daily food list. Number two on the list is fennel seeds. Very, very important. Just 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds post meals will do the job. It basically secretes good digestive juices, which will ensure that the digestion is happening very well and that you're able to assimilate the food. So you don't need too much. Just 1 teaspoon post lunch and 1 teaspoon post dinner will do the trick. The best way to consume fennel seeds is to just dry roast it a bit to the point where you actually get the aroma of it. Some people like to add rock sugar, which is also called mishri, but I personally say steer away from any kind of sugar. So just the dry roast saunf will do the magic. Number 3 on the list is super greens. While we know our methi, palak, bathua, sarso for the kind of nutrition that it has, but then there's another class of greens which we call as super greens. So wheat grass, barley grass, lemongrass, spirulina, they are a powerhouse of antioxidants, and greens like spirulina are very, very rich in protein as well. So make sure that you add the also moringa powder. Right, so these are the things that are extremely important if you're looking at a flat stomach. Next on the list is bitter foods. So now bitter foods are very important. They're very good for your liver, if you want to understand it. So people call these food as liver detoxifier. So foods like methi, ajwain, haldi, karela juice, they're extremely important for your liver, thereby for your digestion and thereby for a flat stomach. So you see how they're all related to digestion and then leading up to a flat stomach. Next on the list is high water food. Now when you consume high water food, you also get good amount of fiber with them. They hydrate you and they make sure that you do not have any water retention in the body. So for people who have an issue of edema, who have an issue of water retention, please consume high water fruits, high water foods like cucumber, watermelon, broccoli, pineapple. These are the foods that should be part of your daily routine. Next on my list is papaya. It is an amazing thing when you're looking at a flat stomach, because this is very, very good for digestion, very, very good for your stomach. So it has an enzyme called papain, which makes sure that you do not have bloating, that you do not have constipation. You're able to clear your stomach as soon as you wake up. So please make sure that you have 1 serving of papaya on daily basis. Now next I want to talk about grains. When you're looking at a flat stomach, sometimes people do have gluten sensitivity or gluten intolerance. And otherwise as well, given the fact that the gluten percentage has increased over last few years, it's important that we also explore other grains. So oats is an amazing grain because it's high in fiber, works as prebiotic. Also, it has something called beta-glucan, which one makes sure that it gives you good amount of soluble fiber. 2, it also ensures that the motility, that the movement of the food in the stomach is good. The other grains that you can try is quinoa, which is a very high protein grain. It's also called a pseudo grain because it's actually a seed and used as a grain. So quinoa and amaranth. Quinoa is a grain which comes from outside. However, amaranth is our homegrown seed, which is also called rajgira, ramdana or cholai. So you can use either amaranth or you can use quinoa. The next on the list is seasonal millet. Very, very important. 1, because they're gluten free. 2, because they have a lot of nutrition. So like for example, now that we're getting into winters, ragi and bajra are extremely good, even makka for that matter. So makki ka aata, bajre ka aata, ragi ka aata, use them the way you like it. You can make tikkis of it, you can make bhakris of it, you can make rotis of it. Make sure that you have variety in terms of your grains. Next that we cannot avoid is ginger. Now this substance called gingerol in ginger does the magic. Very good for digestion, very good for bloating. All you need to do is just make a concoction, boil 1 inch of ginger piece, maybe with couple of cloves in it, and have that infused tea, and you would see a remarkable change in your digestion and in your belly fat, because there will be no bloating at all. Next also on the list is cinnamon. Now what happens with cinnamon is, one, it helps you with your sugar spike. Two, it also helps you with your craving and increases your metabolism rate. So just a pinch of cinnamon powder in your tea will help you sweeten it without sugar, and also will increase your metabolism rate. Or you can just have cinnamon water early in the morning, is also a very good option. Next on the list is fermented foods. Now going back to again prebiotic and probiotic, they're very important for good digestive health. So things like your idlis, your dosas, which are fermented foods, your pickled vegetables like cucumbers, green chili, carrot, even cabbage, which is also known as kimchi. Or now with winters coming in, kanji, the best desi probiotic drink. All you have to do is to get some beetroot along with either black carrot or red carrot, with some ground yellow mustard seeds, black salt, and a little bit of ACV with mother. Add that with water and keep it in sunlight for 3 to 4 days, and your homemade probiotic drink is ready. I will once again in winters make it and post a picture along with the recipe of it. Second last on my list is almonds. Very important, because you get your vitamins and minerals from there. Also, it makes sure that you do not have any kind of hunger pangs with that. And the last on the list is omega-3s. In the last few decades, we've understood the importance of omega-3s. Because if there is an imbalance of omega-3, 6 and 9, the body would have inflammation, which would then lead to belly fat. So make sure that you consume foods like flax seeds, walnuts, chia seeds, fatty fish or fish oil to get your omega-3s. If you add these things to your diet and follow a healthy lifestyle, trust me, in next 30 to 40 days, you would have a flat stomach, and you would be able to enjoy good digestion health and better and improved energy levels, which will then make you feel more healthy and more charged up to continue with this kind of lifestyle. If this video has helped you, please don't forget to like it, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family.